What's up, guys? Alex here from Afterwork Media. Want to bring you my favorite highlights and a small breakdown of what's going on in the new Deadpool trailer that just premiered on Friday. I'm not going to go too crazy, go in depth. A lot of these other bigger channels like to do that. I'm just going to bring in my favorite highlights. Going into the trailer, I really like that we can already kind of get the gist of the story. It's going to basically come down to Deadpool versus Cable. Now, you see in the beginning of the trailer, you see where Deadpool's been at for where he's been. You know, he's still causing havoc with his buddy Dopinder, his own personal taxi driver. Definitely funny, bit of a Raiders of the Lost Ark thing where he's screaming, get the car started, get the car started. He starts running. So nice to see that they're still keeping the humor in there. And I mean, what can you do? It's Deadpool. It's got to be funny. It's got to be over the top. So to start off the trailer alone with the Raiders of the Lost Ark reference is definitely pretty funny. You also get to see Cable for the first time. Now, a lot of talk, a lot of people were happy with Josh Brolin. Me personally, I wish they got a little out of the box with the casting. I was in the Brad Pitt camp. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm right or if you want to yell at me that I'm wrong. So we actually get to see Cable. Now, I love the outfit. I think it looks great. Josh Brolin, like I said, the CGI with the mechanical arm, and it's always nice to see where they use the CGI correctly. Seeing Cable for the first time, he looks great. I could go and say I'm not a big fan of the cape, but it's not the biggest problem to me. I think it looks great, the robotic eye. Can't wait to see more of his powers, see what's going on. And then right after you see Cable, you get, that's when they start showing you the storyline that's going to be going on with this movie. Deadpool is going to be protecting a mutant that Cable has come from the future to come and kill. So we don't know the motives. We know in some of the comic stories. Like I said, I don't like diving too much into the comics. These movies are always separate from the comics. So we do know that it's usually Cable's MO is let me go to the past to change the future. And it's like that a lot of times. He tends to come back and forth, back and forth. He likes to change, usually it's like a mutant apocalypse situation where if it's like a mutant ending thing, he'll come back and try to fix it. We also see the return of Vanessa, Deadpool's love interest, and she's, let's hope to see, hopefully they elaborate on her character a little bit more. She was, in the comics, she's copycat. Not sure if they're going to be using that in the movie. She almost like Mystique, but not as in-depth as Mystique. So it's good to see they're still going strong together. It looks like she wants to move into the next step, maybe have a child. I don't know the logistics of him being able to have a child since he has cancer everywhere. So maybe taking on this mission protecting the kid is kind of practice for him. It is nice to see something like that. I do kind of wish they would stick to a less formulaic storyline. Have him be zany and insane. But we're going to get what we get. Unfortunately, all of us don't work for 20th Century Fox, who I personally don't really like the direction they take most of their superhero movies. We'll see what happens, especially now that they've been bought out by Disney. We'll see once the deal goes through. I hope that they go a little zanier with Deadpool. Also returning is Negasonic Teenage Warhead, the mouthful of a character who was hilarious in the first movie, and Colossus. We get to see him getting groped on the trailer. So it was funny, as always, Colossus is a big dude. Everyone, used that for the humor. You also see sort of I couldn't make heads or tails of it. You see him riding in Professor X's wheelchair in circles with a picture of Barack Obama on one side and Abraham Lincoln on the other, and what looks to be their ashes. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to follow sort of like a Family Guy structure with the cutaway gags, because I don't know what the hell's going on. I like not knowing completely what's going on in a trailer, especially when it comes to Deadpool. I want to kind of be surprised. So, like I said, we'll see what's going on with some of these cutaways. Another cool thing is the introduction of a couple new mutants. Now, we have one girl who has purple hair. We're not 100% sure who it is. Looking online, it seems a lot of people think that she is going to be the character Surge from the comics. You got Terry Crews playing Jesse Bedlam. We don't know the character too in depth. We actually didn't really even know who he was until recently. A couple of the other guys on Reddit and all the other bigger sources, they revealed that it was Jesse Bedlam. Not too many details. I don't think he's that major of a character in the actual Deadpool world or X-Force world. And we also are introduced to two more members of the X-Force. Now, I know there's a movie there's an actual X-Force movie coming out within the next year or so. I'm not 100% sure, especially with the Disney deal going on. So it was announced that an X-Force movie was going to be made. You got Pennywise himself, Bill Skarsgård, as a mystery character. I can sit there and speculate all night. I'm not going to say that there's a specific answer for his character. You got another fella who I'm not sure his name or the actor, but he looks like a guy named Shatterstar, who was part of the original X-Force team. And you have Zazie Beetz from Atlanta starring as Domino. Domino's a great character. She's usually very associated with the X-Force and also with Deadpool. I think she was a love interest in some of the comics. The X-Force series tends to kind of go like make no sense. So it's kind of hard to see how they're going to translate it on film. A big highlight too is all of the combat. Now, if they see it in a montage, the director for Deadpool 2 is the same director that did John Wick and Atomic Blonde. Both great movies known for their action. So we definitely see the difference between the first movie and the second movie already in just the trailer, that the action's going to get kicked up a notch, and it's always great to see. Deadpool's such a versatile character, and this whole roster of characters is so great. You also see the return of Blind Al, Deadpool's blind roommate. She's always great for a couple of laughs. And Weasel. So there were a lot of issues going on with T.J. Miller, going on as his role for Weasel. It's nice to see him back. Not sure if we're going to get him back for the third movie, which they also actually talked about in this trailer. Just making fun of the third movie. Could be against X-Men. Could be against basically any franchise. Every third movie for most third trilogies ended up being the weakest. I think it was against, personally, X-Men The Last Stand. As we all know, everybody hated it. There wasn't much there to love. These are just some of the highlights. I didn't want to get too in-depth with the trailer. A lot of times people tend to, they'll spend 30 minutes speculating. I'm definitely going to wait until the next trailer comes out, or the final trailer, to see. I like to wait to see what's going on in these movies. So that's all I really got for you guys today. The trailer was great. I'm excited for the movie. I'm excited for all the new characters. Zazie Beetz, I love her in Atlanta. It's great to see what else she can do with such a great character. Terry Crews, also great in anything he's been in. Arguably one of the funniest guys around. And as always, Ryan Reynolds. His take on the character. It's always great to see. He's become Deadpool. He's embraced it. He loves it. And that's what you want in a superhero. You want someone that can really commit to the role and just dive into it. We see that with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's going around visiting places as Spider-Man, stuff like that. It's always good to see these actors really dive into the role. So anything I missed, anything you guys thought was more important than anything that I said, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're still learning our way around this YouTube channel and bring you guys the more important news. We like to focus on certain things.